Right, here it is. This is AxeBench version 3.0.0. Literally hundreds of thousands of lines changed. I'm not going to do a massive deep dive. I'm going to give you a quick overview of what this app can do, what it looks like, and what is coming up for you. So you can select a theme first off. It's actually very important. It's got to look pretty. So we'll go with the Matrix theme, but we'll have it in the nice pink, because why not? Dashboard screen. Shows you fleet devices up here, so how many are online, your hash rate, your power and efficiency. You've then got your top device, best difficulty, and best since boot. You've got power supply management in here, these are virtual power supplies, which you attach your devices into. You set them up in here. There'll be warnings for 70% load and 80% load that are dynamic and pop up as well. There's a device grid down the bottom where you can add your devices in. There's configuration for them, whether on a standalone PSU or your virtual PSU. So the idea behind having them on your virtual PSU is that you can see how much load is actually going on those, because I've got a couple of cheap Chinese PSUs and I don't really want to run them over 70%, so I want to be notified of that as well, and I have no idea how much they're pulling because I don't have an amp meter on there. Anyway, I'm going off on one. Add device. There'll also be a scan button in here that will scan your subnet for new devices. There's also PSU config, so you can add in a power supply down there as well. Benchmark, exactly what it seems to be. Select your device. If you're really lazy, you can just, actually there's one running, let's stop that. So you can select your device and simply hit auto tune. It's going to do a full board scan or tune all the way from the very bottom to the very top. It's then going to slice that into areas where it looks for maximum joules per terahash, where it's most efficient, where it's more balanced, where you're getting the max hash rate, all that kind of stuff. And it will generate a whole bunch of config to pass into the sessions data. So it will then create you 4 profiles, and this is automatic, by the way, create you 4 profiles based around quiet, efficient, balanced, and max hash rate, and they're all ready to use. Literally, select your device, click one button, done. 4 profiles, tuned once and then tuned again on the micro scale. If I open up advanced, there is an easy section where you literally select your preset and your optimization goals. So what is it you're looking for? And then you can hit start benchmark, and the start benchmark will actually benchmark and tune. It will then ask if you want to save that benchmark later on. If you don't, it will end up in sessions, which is fine, because you can just go in here later and say, do you know what, I like those profiles. Let me select this one that has, let's say, 22 on there, and I can hit generate profiles. It's then going to ask me, do I want to overwrite because I've got existing profiles? I'm going to say, yeah, do you know what, I will. So it's taken all this data from that initial scan. We haven't done the nano tuning yet, but this is all the automatically generated profiles. They are not random, okay? These are looking at, for efficiency, for example, the best joules per terahash. And here we can see it is 14.96, and the others 15.93, 16.08, and so on. There is some more refinement that's happened on the engine that controls that. Huge updates to that, so I'll show you that as it comes along. But ultimately, you're tuning for a goal. That's the point. It's all well and good having max hash rate, and there's a lot of programs that will do that, but what is the point? Max hash rate is great, but not for me, not when I'm sat here working. Anyway, I'm going off on one again, aren't I? You can apply it from here. You can tune it from here. That's changing to nano. So, for example, on the balanced tune, it brings up balanced in the optimization goal, and literally hit nano tune. It's going to go off and look at the ranges plus or minus the baseline. The baseline is set, so it always goes off the baseline, and it will move in incredibly small increments either way to get the perfect tune for that particular goal, which is cool. You can also edit or look at the JSON for each of these as well. Yeah, there's no point in showing you the JSON because it's boring. You can also save the current profile that's loaded and give it a name as well, so that you to do this and call it whatever you like, Jeff. And you can confirm that save and have it as a profile. Under session data, as you saw, we generated profiles from here. There's also JSON data, and you can also view the console logs as well, or you can delete stuff, so that's really awesome. Excuse me. Now you've got a pool, so you can add in your pool details into here and create the pool. That will then be listed in here as a bunch of pools. Then you'll be able to toggle them by clicking on them. Going nearly there with this one. Another few days and should be there. So literally click on one of the pools, click on the device, and then you'll be able to just literally do that again. I want to apply this pool to that device, this pool to that device, or click several pools and watch it all go wrong. Hopefully not. But that is the idea, is you could click which pool you want, which devices, and then a send button, an activate button for that as well. And there'll also be the option to set fallback in here as well, or swap profiles. Operations, because it's the brain of the operations. So the idea was originally it had AxeBench, AxeShed, and AxePool, pool for pool scheduling, shed for scheduling, and it was just a bit stupid. Really. It was stupid. I thought it was a good idea at the time. It's not. It's stupid. But in operations, you'll be able to assign your device. So we're looking at Gamma 601 here, or Gamma 602. We can have pool failover. So again, which pool we want as the main pool, which we want as the fallback as well, or we can apply it to all. So again, if we had both of these selected, and these will be multi-selectable, you'll be able to apply those pools to each of those devices. There's also a quick profile applying here as well. So if you just want one of your boxes to do a certain thing, you can do that. And there's a profile scheduler down here, which is currently nearly finished. So it will be a time that you turn it on. There's no point. I thought about this. Why have it as turning off at a certain time? There's no point. I want it on at 10 o'clock. I want this profile. I want to add I'm in the way. There's no profiles to add, by the way, so because I haven't added one. But the point is, you can. That's how that's all going to work. It'll be tidied up a bit when it's done. There's also a start scheduler up here, so it doesn't have to run all the time. It's obviously not very good if you're running a benchmark. I might put in a trigger that says you're running your scheduler on at the moment. Do you really want to run a benchmark, or shall I turn your scheduler off? Some kind of logic in there like that would be quite useful. Last thing here is monitoring. This is going to go out and it's going to poll for data. So give it 5 polls and it will bring up the nice graphs down here as well. So the graphs will appear momentarily. So there's all the data. In fact, I can turn on number 2. Ignore the Smarties. I had a really good idea originally of having multiple colours on each graph to show which each box was. It's really confusing. Bad idea. So this one's now going out and grabbing data. It's building the graphs in the background and is pushing all of that information as well, which is cool. If you want anything changed in here, just let me know. I'll change it. At the moment, we've got ASIC errors, hash rate, VR temp and ASIC temp, and the parent efficiency and the efficiency, which is watts and joules per terahash. So what is next? There's loads of work, obviously, for me to still do. A crazy amount of work for me to do, in fact, but I'm really getting there with this. I think it's coming along very nicely. If we just go ahead and start an auto tune actually on one of these, again, ignore the pop-up. We can see the console down the bottom, so we'll get some information around what strategy it's using. It's chosen adaptive progression for this particular strategy. I won't tell you what it means, but it's awesome. It's very clever, and it does really cool things. But that is a particular strategy that looks for sweet spots. When we're talking about how voltage and clock speeds, even if they're slightly off, can be underperforming or over temperature. So it tries to find those sweet spots, and it knows what it's looking for in terms of the profiles. It also jumps as well, like I say, from that 25 millivolt, 25 megahertz down to in smaller increments, 15, maybe 10, depending on what it finds. And if it's found a sweet spot, it digs into it, up to the point for that nano tune, like I said. So that's off and running. Nice little banner up the top as well that you can stop it from no matter what page you're on. Again, ignore the pop-up. It's disgusting. I want a nice modal. And that's it. That's it. So it's nearly there. I'm not going to release it till it's ready because I don't want to get grilled. I want this to work. I want it to work well. So bear with me. Pop some suggestions in down here. Let me know if there's anything that you want to see in here particularly, and I will get smashing on it. Last thing to mention as well, under the profile section, there will be an area to say, I want to select these 2 devices. The profiles will be in boxes as well, so I could select 2 devices, select my, for example, efficient profile, and then apply it to all. It's not going to apply one profile to all devices. That would be bad, as you can imagine. If I've got a tuned, really well-cooled 601 and a stock 602, it's going to burn the bits out the 602. What it will do is it will apply the one of the 4 auto-generated profiles to all of those devices, but it will be the individual tune for that device. Very important to state that. So it means fleet-wide, you can just go, I want to apply all these profiles to all these devices now, bosh, done. All in one fail swoop. That's it. So I'm going to get back and get this smashed out because I've just finished work, so I'm going to carry on. But yeah, drop a link. Not drop a link. You're not dropping a link. Drop a suggestion, a comment in the box below. Let me know what you want to see in here, or if there's any tweaks, or if you think I've done anything stupid. Then we can all have a good laugh. That's it for now. I will catch you in the next one. Ta-da.